we had a solid work day today for our Tuesday. Some inconsistencies throughout that showed up that we have to get corrected. Obviously, we're still continuing to work through our process and understanding the overall expectation when we step on that field. And while there were some good moments, there's definitely some times where we're not as focused and as prepared, to go out there and give everything that we have is what we need to be. And that's something that we've got to get corrected. We've got to continue to coach that standard and expectation on a more consistent basis. Because obviously, if we can't do that in practice, it can be extremely difficult to do that on the field during the game time. And so, continue to work away at that. I thought there were some bright spots to today, but all in all, we got to continue to work at an elite standard as we're continuing on our path to improvement and getting better in all aspects. But with that, I'll go ahead and leave it open for questions.
First question, Antoine Staley from Tallahassee Democrat.
Coach, just talk about Jordan Travis and the work he's been putting in trying to come back from his injury.
Hey, Jordan's looked good. Got some work there last week. Coming along. Obviously, with not playing on Saturday, another day, an opportunity just for his entire body to feel better. And you came out, and I thought had a really good day today. Looked good, was moving well, throwing the ball all around, had some big plays downfield. It was a good work day for him, and definitely you're excited about where he's at and just his continued development.
What kind of history or have you had with Coach Mendenhall, and what are some of the hallmarks? Are you seeing things in this Virginia program that you saw from his programs at BYU?
Yeah, we played. It was one of my first years. It might have been my first year at Tulsa. We played BYU early in the season, and it was a wild game. But it was I have watched a lot of his defense over the years, and just his football teams in general, always known for their physical, tough nature approach. Very well coached. I mean, the multiplicity of things that you will see is pretty incredible in all phases. I mean, whether it's special teams. I mean, he's going to bring. You're going to have a fake of some aspect, and on his punt team just about every week. The pressures that they bring on their punt pressure, obviously the different things they can do there, defensively, very, very multiple, 3 down, 4 down, going to attack. And then offensively, I think they're extremely well coached. They do plenty of things to challenge you in the run and passing game. And, you couple that with a mentality and a toughness that shows up consistently on film. It's always a challenge, and you got a lot of respect for Coach Mendenhall and the job that he does within his program. And I think you've seen those steps and the growth, in the Virginia program. Obviously with their success last season, but even how they're playing here as the year continues on this year.
With how young the offense was that you kind of had to use against NC State, I'm sure it'll trend younger again. Jordan, I know, doesn't have a ton of experience, but he has noticeably more than Chubba. I guess, what do you think stability can he bring just with the experience he's had to a pretty young group?
I'm sorry, did you say with Jordan?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Jordan, he is young. He's only a sophomore, but he does have that game experience. And I think guys, you see how he works. Each and every day, the approach, not only to the physical aspect of it, but the mental capacity that he provides, within our offense is something that you guys definitely respect. He's a great young man. I think he's a tremendous leader because of those actions that he's willing to put on display, day in and day out. So, it's fun to see all those guys, continue to grow and get better. But you could see a kind of an air of confidence that's continuing to emerge with each rep that Jordan gets, just as he grows within the system and continues to prepare at the level which he's preparing.
Coach, who broke the rock first? Was it you or Bronco? I think he does the sledgehammer on the stone thing. Who owns the trademark on that?
Well, it's actually, his strength and conditioning coach, Sean Griswold, is somebody that was with us at Tulsa. And, it's been something that we've done since 2000, I want to say 2007 there at Tulsa. And, when he went to Virginia, it's thinking something that he, brought with him. And it's something that, like I said, we've always done as well. So, probably very similar in thought and philosophy. And when it comes to that, and so I guess we were there together when it was created.
And Mike, how is Tate Rodemaker responded to maybe not having some of the best outings? Like, how has he done in practice? And are you hopeful to maybe see him get more reps here in the final few games of the season in some capacity?
Yeah, Tate has done a really good job of taking the experiences that he has on the field and really working to improve them and to build that confidence there on the practice field. And he is. He's definitely coming along. I think he's gotten better. He's been very, very consistent throughout the year. Just practice repetitions. Preparing. When he's gotten when he's gotten in the games. He's had some good and some good plays that he's been able to experience, but also some plays that he's got to learn from. And the investment that he's making in his growth, both mentally and the physical development. He's been thrown out there very early in his career, and he's. Sometimes some bumps come along with that, but he responds extremely well.
Going back to your opening comments about the inconsistent preparation or practice, do you get to a point in a program where, in year 2, 3, or 4, where that doesn't happen or just doesn't happen as frequently? And when it does happen, like a situation like today where you're not very happy, is it a pocket of players or is it a bigger group of players, or kind of, could you describe that a little bit?
As you get years in advance, I mean, that definitely it's never, I've never been a part of a program where it didn't show up at all. I mean, that's part of, you're part of just, being a kid and human nature. And, but what you hope to see is the ownership of the team. That kind of take hold of that. And when you find moments in practice that maybe the standard's not being met, that they're able to correct it. And that's what we need more of. We've prepared, we brought the right attitude and mentality to practice for, the last, 3-4 weeks where it has been improving. Today was a step, what I would say a step back, just from the level of what we have been performing at. But, what needs to show up is we need guys that, I don't care if they're freshmen, I don't care sophomore, whatever year they are, if they're fifth-year seniors, just step up, and we've got to live up to the expectation of what our program requires. And that's something that has to be developed here. We are part of one of the greatest programs in the history of college football. There's an expectation for how we need to prepare, how we need to operate, how we need to conduct ourselves. And it's a responsibility of anybody that puts on that jersey to go out there and live up to that standard. And, there's a, thing that you see with college football, I think more and more as the years go by is, there's so much individualism and, guys coming in and trying just to, take care of them and, you do what they have to do. I mean, that's the greatest thing about being a part of a team is you get to have relationships where, there might be a day where you don't have your best, but somebody inspires you or somebody helps hold you accountable to pushing yourself to better than what you think you can be. And that's what being a part of a team is. And, as we're here at the end of this year, it's been a crazy year. But we playing a lot of young guys. We've got a lot of youth within our program. But the standard needs to be the standard. And if everybody can be pushing for that common goal, and when somebody is maybe slacking in their focus or their intensity or the way that we're finishing, that the players help push that. And it's not just always the coaches. And so that's something that we need to see. Something I challenge the team with, afterwards, and that's also is what carries over into games. Whenever momentum swings or when things don't go your way, when the team is able to bond together and believe in each other and have each other's backs in those situations, that's when you see the responses that people remember. And that is our obligation. That's something that we're making a daily investment on, is just understanding what we represent and what that needs to look like on a day-to-day basis, and the effort and the mindset of what we bring to work, here at the practice field, in the meeting room, and then obviously on game day.
Coaches talk about complementary football all the time. So no matter who's back there starting, Tate or Jordan, what would you like to see in the last two games around the players that are surrounding them offensively?
I want to see continued growth. I think we've shown growth in the run game and been able to create opportunities to consistently move the ball there in that regards. I mean, obviously this week is a big challenge for us. Virginia does a good job of taking away the run, but then we need to continue to develop the consistency in the passing game and winning the one-on-one opportunities, making sure that the efficiency of how we throw and catch and protect all works together. If we could see that consistent growth within our offense and being able to maintain the versatility of taking what the defense gives us, and you're seeing 11 guys playing as one, not having the self-inflicted mistakes. I'll be proud to see and excited to see what this offense can accomplish as we continue to move forward.
You guys have been pretty limited at running back the last couple of weeks. Any update on how LaDainian and Lawrence are doing and how that group is health wise?
They're both those guys are going to be back. They were both ready to go this past week. It was unfortunate, going into NC State. LaDainian, was out of practice for most of the week and very limited when it came to game time. Lawrence wasn't able to go for that game, but both those guys were available and were expected to play quite a bit this past week, and obviously that's going to continue on.
I don't want this to make about kind of you rebutting or anything else. Dabo has talked a little more about the situation last night and this morning some as well. Is it frustrating to you that we're 72 hours removed and this is still such a major conversation point?
It's one of those things I don't really have any control of what people want to spend their time or focus on. I will say that once again, all the information that our medical advisors used to make the decision for the game on Saturday was came directly from Clemson's medical advisors, and we like I said, I appreciate the transparency. I appreciate the information that was shared. And then the people that made that decision made the best decision that they felt for the program, and that is the protocol of the ACC, and that they are the ones that make that decision. And so I'm really pretty much done talking about it. We're moving forward.
Have you seen anything lately, Coach, out of your freshman wideouts that shows maybe some steps in progress in getting, I guess, a good feel for where they need to be to help out, win one-on-one battles, and help bolster the offense?
We've seen flashes. It's been kind of an unfortunate. We've had a bunch of kind of bumps in the road with those guys. You see flashes of them. Their productivity showing up in practice. You see the growth that they're having physically, mentally. The consistency catching the ball. But it's been. As they take the steps forward, we've had these setbacks that have shown up, whether it's an injury here or an injury there that they've had to battle through. Right when they're at the point to get out there and contribute, there's been a setback in some aspect, and so those guys are really coming along with it. I do think Kentron's got an opportunity to help this team when the opportunity presents itself. Brian Robinson's been dealing with the kind of nagging injuries, and Darian is really coming along with some of the things that have kind of showed up for him as well. But we're looking at different options. We're looking at different things. Ja'Kai Douglas is a young true freshman that I think is really come along, and just his understanding of the offense, his ability. I think he's the guy that's right there on the brink of being able to take that next step as a productive player for us. And we're excited, and we think we're going to get Corey Wren back this week. He's been battling some injuries as well, and that's one of the things that's been a challenge. This offense, especially when you look at the skill position players, we've been able to really acclimate freshmen and having a lot of success with freshmen that have come in over the years. The biggest thing is just the physical demands in a shortened off-season summer. That I think it's presented a little bit more challenge for these guys. in that transition, to playing as much, as a freshman. So but those guys are all coming along. I'm excited about the growth. It's just we've had some unfortunate bumps along the way throughout the season.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, our first player today will be Tate Rodemaker.